Hey guys, Brendan Productions here. Sorry about that, I didn't know it was recording. But, first of all, some quick updates. I'll be getting a new microphone very shortly, so hopefully that improves my sound quality. My new computer is going to be a go. I'm going to get it as soon as I gather double the amount of money required to buy it. And, Brandonsoft is going to be getting a new logo very shortly. So look out for those, and that was a quick update in 30 seconds. Now, today, the, tutorial is actually going to be on functions and how to use them in order to determine if something is true or if the function worked, whatnot. So you'll see what I mean in just a second here. But so today, since we're doing a simple strict coding function, I went ahead and set up a console application, and we're just going to use a console application for our tutorial purposes. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a function, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So the first thing you need to do is create the function just as you would the sub. So yeah, and then you're going to want to end function down on the bottom. And then you actually want to specify what it's going to be called. Now I'm going to make this function called check I, and then I'm going to give it a byval value as integer, and then I'm going to make the function a boolean. We can't do integer, I guess. How about int? Okay. So, here we go. I know I just coded that kind of out of the blue, but a function is just like a sub where you name it and then you declare parameters that you have to set when calling the function. However, a function can also be, I don't know if you could do this with a sub or not, but it can also be determined as a type. So, you could actually make this a string if you really wanted to. But, we'll learn how to change this type very shortly. And then the end function has a warning under it because it does not return a value. Well, we'll fix that as well. So what we're going to do is check if this int is equal to 9. So if int is equal to 9, then we're going to do something, but if it's not, we're going to do something else. And then if nothing really happens, we're just going to do something. But, okay, so what we're going to be using is the return command, and the return command actually changes this boolean right here that we set the function to. So if int is 9, then we're going to set the boolean equal to true, and if int is not 9, then we're going to set the boolean equal to false. Now what this does is it pretty much makes it so it does. This is so hard to explain, sorry. My bad, I'm trying to go too quick. So what the return function does is when you're going through a sub, after it hits the return, it actually stops execution of the sub, returns the value, and then keeps on going with the next code. So for example, if we call this here, and then we set the int to equal to 9, since it equals 9, it will return true, so we will go through this and stop right here, and then keep going with the rest of the code. But if it is not 9, then it will keep going until here, where it will change this function to equal false, and then it will keep going for the rest of the code. So this is very useful if you want to check if a download happened or not. For example, you could say if file exists, then return true, else return false. And so you can easily use to determine that. But the thing is, how do we access this boolean to determine if it's true or false? Well, you do it just like you would a variable. So you want to do if check I 9 equals true, then. So if it did return true, then we're going to say true. But if it did not return true, if it is false, so that means if we set it to not be 9, we're going to write line false. I know this is kind of a hard tutorial to understand. It took me forever to grasp this as well, just because it's so weird. But so we're pretty much declaring a whole function as a boolean here, and then we're seeing if this number right here equals 9, then we're going to change the boolean to true. But if that number does not equal 9, we're going to change the boolean to false. And then we coordinate those here. So let's go ahead and test it out. As you can see here, we set the int equal to 9, so it should return true. And then since it equals true, the console should write out true. And then we also need to make the console wait. so we can actually see it. Okay. And as you can see here, it immediately started up and it says true. And that's because we set int equal to 9. And now if we set int equal to, let's say, 6, which is of course backwards 9, then we can start debugging and it should return false, as it does, because that does not equal 9. So this was a very nice example on how to use functions. Very simple. You can as I said, you could do it with downloads, and so you would do if my.computer.filesystem.file exists file, then return true. You could do that easily, and then it will just stop execution of the code right here. So any code you put after this won't happen. So if we put this, at least I believe it won't happen. So if we set this back equal to 9, it should not display the message box after it types in true. Yes, it does not display the message box because it exits the sub, right? It exits the function right there and returns to this code. So yes, this is perfect if you really do want to check as soon as a file exists, exit out of the function because we don't need it anymore. So this tutorial should help you guys out in making your applications. Hopefully it does help you out. I really don't like providing unhelpful tutorials, but hey, that's the way it's got to be. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Look out for my next video, which will have improved mic quality. And yeah, have a great day, guys, and thanks for watching. See you guys.